Hey everyone. As you may have seen today, President Trump and Attorney General Bill Barr attended the round table on their visit to Kenosha, Wisconsin today. And President Trump gave thanks to the senator and to the National Guard. Um, President Trump said, "We are happy to show our support." And this is an example how things are done when things are done right. And what he was referring to was Chad Wolf and Ron Johnson, the senator, reaching out for help, um, wanting assistance from our president as a result of protests and riots that followed and were sparked by the shooting of Jacob Blake last week. Now, this comes under the attack of, um, police brutality against African Americans. So Blake, as a result of being shot by police after reaching into his car, is now paralyzed. So naturally, a lot of people are going to be upset. A lot of people are going to be outraged. But the problem that we're seeing in America right now, and this goes back to Biden, this goes back to Antifa, this goes back to the mob, communists, bad Democrats, radical Democrats, is that they are fueling their agenda by flooding these tragedies that Americans are dealing with riots, with paid domestic terrorists to go in there and wage war on the city, on the people, on law enforcement, on businesses. And so, aside from any potential racism, aside from any potential wrongdoing on the police, President Trump said there are bad apples in every basket. Sometimes cops have to make a last-minute decision. Sometimes they feel they're in trouble and they make that decision. And on the other end, we do have racism in our police departments. And it does exist. And President Trump doesn't deny any of the above. But at the end of the day, his number one goal was to attend Kenosha, Wisconsin, show his support, give thanks to the police department, to law enforcement, and to the senator for wanting the help, and getting Kenosha back on track. So, Kenosha was ravaged by anti-police riots. I just do want to point out James and Jared Ward, pastors, were present at the round table, which is always beautiful to have the Spirit of God in these moments of crisis. And when people are coming together, it is really important. And it's a blessing to keep that holy vibration around us as much as possible. So that James and Jared Ward, pastors, were present at the round table. Trump gave economic relief to Kenosha, $4 million. That was to small business owners. He gave $1 million to law enforcement for all the havoc they had to deal with that week. He gave $42 million to prosecutors to punish these rioting Antifa criminals that are going in and infiltrating a tragedy to fulfill the agenda of the mob communists that the left radicals hire and organize to help tear down this country, exploit tragedies, and then try to trash our president as an end result. So this left-wing Democrats, these monsters, it's what they are, as monsters. What they're doing is, you know, they're communists, they're mob. It's horrible. So President Trump did all he could do. He went out there, he gave aid. Ron Johnson, the senator, and Chad Wolf thanked our president, was grateful for our president. Unlike the governor, of Kenosha, Wisconsin, Tony Evers. He actually said Trump's presence will only hinder our healing. Well, if you weren't such a corrupt piece, allowing that false script of hate towards our president, that communistic mob hate script against our president, maybe there wouldn't be no hinder of healing, because you're the cause of it. It's always the Democrats. At the end of the day, the Democrats are raising havoc. They're destroying communities, destroying people's lives. And then they get Biden to stand up and in front of a crowd, in front of the press, and say, do I look like we incite violence? So thanks to President Trump stepping in and resources and relief being given to Kenosha, violence stopped 6 days ago. Now Seattle, we're in trouble. Now he said, President Trump tweeted, if more states would ask for the relief, allow him to deploy the National Guard, we'd see a lot more healing a lot more sooner. So when Biden and MSNBC talks about healing, it makes me want to barf. Because they are the problem with what's going on with domestic terrorism right now. And Trump's visit, also presented a tough on crime approach in Kenosha today with Bill Barr, in contrast to Biden, who really has no solutions to any of the violence, because they're now denying that they're the cause of it, and they want this violence to perpetuate. So Trump said, quote unquote, to stop the political violence, we must also confront the radical ideology that includes this violence. Reckless far-left politicians continue to push the destructive message that our nation and our law enforcement are oppressive or racist. That'll throw out any word that comes to them, basically negative. So, all this negativity is really destructive. So this is something that Trump has said at the round table. So again, Tony Evers, governor. If you want to be a communist, pack up and go to China. The same thing with New York, Kimona. We got a bunch of trash walking around, just dropping the bar, not doing their job. And pretty much they spend their days deflecting and lying about their agenda and everything going on around them, and then just hating on our president. So, President Trump said that these acts are not peaceful protesting, but domestic terror. And that is exactly what it is. And we got to call it exactly what it is, guys. It is so important not to put a band-aid on the travesties the far left is just igniting on our country. Because we got to remember, these psychopaths that are so desperate for takeover are going to pull everything out of their pockets. They're going to pull everything out they can think of, that they can manufacture to attack our country, to exploit tragedies like this shooting of Blake. They're going to ignite it with paid terrorists to destroy people's lives, destroy businesses, attack our police, light fires, do everything satanic to destroy our country, and then blame our president and try to turn it around on our president. You know, I have to say, sometimes I don't even know how our president handles all this. And I'm just a citizen. But sometimes I'm very sensitive to other people. And sometimes I think about all the jabs our president has to take and his family. And it worries me because this evil is nonstop. And so that's another thing we got to remember. This is going to come at our country, at our police, nonstop. They're going to be attacking our president nonstop. So if we step back and say, okay, we're going to see the Democrats for what they are. They're going to keep coming up with lies. They're going to keep deflecting responsibility. They're going to keep finding ways to attack and lie about our president. They're going to say, oh, well, he was with this woman during this marriage and he did this on his tax returns. I got to be honest with you. I don't give a crap about that. I don't. Even if it's true, I don't care. Men do stuff. He wasn't doing this when he was president, but they're really trying to find dirt on him with tax returns and all this stuff. You know, people in his family talking trash about our president. I could care less about what Mary has to say. I saw an interview when they talked to her. And I gotta tell you, a lot of smoke, a lot of mirrors, but no facts to back it up. I think, I heard, I believe. And you know, that's why the support of President Trump's family is really important. Acknowledging God that when you have a position like this and you're up against such evil, and I kind of understand it because I've lived it with the gang stalking. This type of evil, this domestic terrorism that comes from Scientology, when they unleash this on you, it's every day. It's throughout the day. It's always something. They never stop. They, in my building, have people waiting for me when I come. I barely leave the house, but when I leave the house, they have people waiting for me in the lobby or in the hall. The same Scientologists that follow me when I had to walk to CVS. I have a security guard on my Twitter that is following me who was witness to this. And the neighbor that was sitting outside my door the other night when I came in from the store was the same one who would follow me into town, and the security guard noticed it at CVS. And the neighbor was trying to stand close to us so he can listen to what me and the security guard were talking about. And then he was standing close by pretending he was shopping because the security guard said to me, oh, he's pretending he's shopping, he's trying to listen. This is the sick tactics these monsters do. It's, you know, they're always attacking their target. And I've lived that for 15 years. Okay, I'm still living it. So I can kind of relate in a sense to what our president goes through. I'm just glad that a lot of Americans see the truth and his family's there to support him. And they have to remember at the end of the day, evil, this evil, wants to conquer and divide. And when they conquer and divide, they're going to take over. And when they take over, that facade that Biden used earlier during his speech is no longer going to exist. It probably will be something of the past, because they're not going to need to coerce America into anything, because China's going to take over. So, to be honest with you, very disgusted with the governor of Wisconsin. Trump had a chance to take an up look close at the damage caused by the riots by these manufactured domestic terrorist groups that came in from other states. I think it was Arizona. I think it might have been California. I think it could have been Washington. It's basically gang stalking, guys. It's gang stalking. And the tactics they used, the tactics they used on our president when they were spying on him, they infiltrated like every part of his life, spying on him. They used one ridiculous allegation to go after him, and then pretend nothing was going on so they can keep going after him behind his back. It's so sick. It's so sick. And I really hope that everyone that went after him, I hope that everyone who's gone after him will be accountable. So, President Trump spoke with business owners. He took a look at the damage. And, our president doesn't make false promises. And I kind of get our president. What you see is what you get. He's not walking around giving false promises, trying to look good, trying to show off about any material things, or trying to, live the high life like Pelosi. These people want to live like Donald Trump. These people wish they can live like Donald Trump. So, President Trump went in, he stepped in, he did all that he could do and more. And it is a blessing that we have him as a president. And all I want to say to our president is, in the morning, because there's so much stress and there's so much that our president does every day. I think he even works on the weekends. And this goes out to, Eric and Don Jr. and everybody else. When you have a stressful schedule and we demand a lot from our body, and I don't want to sound ridiculous, but nourishing and giving our body as much nourishment is so important. So I know Trump likes to eat what he likes to eat, but just to keep his body on the cellular level as intact and nourished as possible, I just want to say I hope he's taking all his vitamins, calcium, everything, multivitamin, everything. And in the morning, if he could just drink like a big cup of water and then have like a nice smoothie, like, maybe throw in a little bit of beet greens, the greens of the beet, maybe some spinach, wheatgrass, cut some wheatgrass. I have some wheatgrass. I grow my own wheatgrass. So this is my wheatgrass. I grow it. I buy the seeds and the dirt and I just plant it, and then I just cut it. I don't even juice it. I literally throw it in the blender. So I have like, maybe this, like this much. Like I'll cut like this much. And my cat loves wheatgrass too. And let's see. So I'll put like blueberries, wheatgrass, a beet, cut a piece of beet, like maybe this much beet, lemon, blueberry or strawberries. I throw in a banana. I throw in some yogurt. And then I fill it up with water, like a quarter to half of the way. No, about half a way. But I also put in sweet and low, like the red stuff, sweet and saccharin, to sweeten it up. I know a lot of people don't like artificial sweeteners, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have that than the real sugar. And I blend that up, and that's the first thing I put in my body. I just immerse my body with those nutrients. Oh, I also put onion. I'll cut like this much onion, put onion, and I'll put the hot, like my cat's biting me. What, baby? And I'll put like, stop biting me. And I'll put like some jalapeno pepper, like the hot, like the Mexican pepper. Stop biting me, honey. And I'll cut like, I don't know, like this, like, I don't know, like this size right here. I'll take off the seeds, and so the white part in the jalapeno is very nutritious. It's like really good. I like cantaloupe, and I'll even put the skin in there because the skin has a lot of vitamins. So even like, let's say you went out on Saturday night and you drank, so you're gonna feel like crap in the morning. So like have a thing that like a Nicean, take a Nicean it's like a Nicean, what is it called? It's not a vitamin, but supplement, the Nicean. It'll help rid your body of the crap in your body, in your blood. And then like drink your smoothie if you can, at least work out 20 minutes. Drink a lot of water, drink your coffee, and then like, later eat. But if we infuse our body with those nutrients first thing with our supplements, some people like to work out in the morning, some people like to work out in the evening. I switch it up because I have iron deficiency sometimes, so I eat prunes and take iron, and I used to have really bad chronic fatigue. But anyways, I worry about my president going through all this, and so I just always try to encourage proper nourishment. I'm telling you, when you infuse your body with that stuff, the purity of it is so healing, and on a cellular level, it'll keep you going and your mind going. It'll nourish everything in your body. So I was gonna do a separate video on that, but I just wanted to say that now. Some people like using Asahi. Asahi is a super antioxidant. Anyways, I just wanted to say that. All right, guys. Governor of Wisconsin, very, very disappointed. The one thing Trump is good at is just seeing it for what it is, and he just sails right on. He doesn't, let it get to him. And I remember somewhere where I read or something that the way God made Trump, his mind is unlike any other. The way he is, the way he thinks, he's like a genius of a one of a kind, and the way he takes all this that comes at him is miraculous in itself. But I'm hoping that maybe someone, Trump or somebody, will hear the message I have. And I know you guys, Trump and Eric and although the administration, you guys have the best of everything. I know you guys have the best in the world of everything. But I just wanted to say that in case it does help, in case maybe it helps you or reminds you that there is something you want to implement in the morning that you haven't implemented, that'll give you that jump start and that boost. And then later when you get hungry, if you get hungry a half hour later, eat whatever you want to eat. But at least your body will have what it needs to be the best you can be for that day. And just drink lots of water or tea, whatever. Lemon with water, whatever. All right, guys. Thank God our president took care of Kenosha. Very disappointed with the governor of Kenosha, of Wisconsin. And I want to thank God for Fox News for telling it like it is and being honest. All right, guys. Good night. Take care of each other. And Trump 2020.